What's up? It's Marco back on the Stage Soccer channel. I just got on watching US men's national team win 4-1 against Honduras, and man, it was an interesting game, but to be honest, I feel like there were no surprises in this game. I mean, everything that really happened were stuff that we knew could go down, and it basically did. I mean, our team's injury record speaks for itself. The build-up play by a group of players, let's be honest, the MLS players wasn't there. But in the end, our talent shined through. We have a really promising group of players coming through, and they did their job. The first thing, let's start with the positives first, but the subs came on and changed the game. Some really good performances. Brenden Aaronson, great work by him. He's been our most dangerous player this entire window. Man, coming on and getting a goal, when he presses, it is so good. You could tell that he wasn't not 100% energy-wise. I think he's healthy, but not 100% energy-wise. But he was still going at it, just pressing the team so hard. His work was immense. Anthony Robinson coming on and scoring the goal. Man, I think I was one of the only people who wasn't really satisfied with his performance last time. But man, this game, great job by him. Man, you can see on defensive athleticism is great. His attack has improved so much in these past few months. Man, he's been looking really good. Even Sebastian Lletget. I mean, I've said before with him, I don't think he should start because I don't like what he does in the midfield. I don't feel like he has the ability to control a game. But when a game becomes end-to-end, man, his ability in the final third is very strong as well. And, man, DeAndre Yedlin coming on, instant impact. Great job by him. And, should be said, Cristin Roldan. He was basically invisible, but he did kind of win the ball for that third goal. I think it might have been a foul, but hey, it is what it is. He did that. So those are some positive things from this game, but those positives are all in the second half. Granted, it was throughout the entire second half, but the start of this game was not good at all, and it really came down to some terrible tactics that we just have to talk about. The team lined up in a 3-5-2, which I do like. I feel like that's a good idea, good thing to have in our back pocket, but I don't really know what we were trying to do. It was a very defensive formation. We started our really only pure attacking players were Pulisic, Pepi, and Sargent, and man, we had James Sands in the midfield. We'll get to him later. Tyler Adams at right back, which, geez, that was just not a good call. Kel Acosta, I mean, we know what he's about. George Bello made a start. I'm not sure why he started over Robinson. Robinson seemed like he had energy throughout the entire game. I don't think it was fitness, but he didn't do a bad job, though, but he got subbed off at halftime. So, really weird setup, very defensive, and it wasn't great. I mean, you really couldn't play out the back. Matt Turner, his inability with his feet was really shining through. Miles Robinson as well, really not able to build up that well. You couldn't go direct because, Sargent and Pepi really aren't athletic enough to just get onto a long ball and really do something with that. We were basically just hoping that Pulisic could do something, and he was exerting a lot of energy and getting fouled a lot. And with how much he was used last game and the load that he had to take on this game, it's not really a surprise that he ended up getting hurt. I'm not too sure what that injury was. I haven't looked anything up. He wasn't holding anything, which I feel like he normally does when he goes off. So I think it might have been a bruise, but if it was that hamstring again, that's disappointing. But at this point, we know this team's injury record, so we had to be prepared, and I feel like we were to some extent. But yeah, that 3-5-2 attacks at the beginning really weren't good at all. And honestly, I can't even praise the manager for making the change because you just set us up to fail and then undid it. It was a terrible idea. Players put in bad positions, and really disappointing. Other tactical things, I feel like the press was working a lot better. We really kind of went away from it. Josh Sargent, I mean, that's basically the only thing he does at a high level. He was pressing pretty well today. The only problem was it was working, but the second we got the ball back, we'd have a bad first touch and give it away. So even though the press was working, it didn't end up mattering. Tyler Adams playing at right back. I feel like it's time to talk about that. That was stupid. Just downright stupid. It's not really a surprise that we took the lead, like, basically the second we altered that. And I know that Dest went down, but you just have to look at this team and go, or look at the player pool and go, okay, we've got Serginho Dest. Okay, he went down. DeAndre Yedlin, very good player. Reggie Cannon, very good player. Shaq Moore, really good performance in the Gold Cup. Joe Scaley, he looks really promising. Brian Reynolds, he looks really promising. Just such a deep pool at right back. And I think we've had a total of 90 minutes of Kel Acosta and Tyler Adams playing right back. Two defensive mids getting thrown out of position to play there. And the fact that that was planned, that we decided to do that, that's tactical ineptness. Man, some other things, like, why do we always kick the ball up to Sargent? He never wins it. Like, every time Sargent plays, we just lump it up to him. He never wins it. It's a pattern. I don't know what's up with that. So that was really, I didn't like that with tactics. And on the positive end, I feel like every time we put the ball into the box, like, our crosses were very dangerous. That's how we scored a couple of our goals. We did look better in the second half, and the defense especially improved in the second half. Switching to the back four was really good. John Brooks had a pretty bad game. Honestly, he hasn't had the greatest window. I'm honestly not even sure if this game's really on him, though, because I'm not sure if he was put in the right position. I'm not sure if he's comfortable in that center back role, which, I don't know. But he didn't have a good game, though. So, yeah, that's about it. For players individually, I really feel like Josh Sargent had another bad performance, and yeah, he's not ready at this point. He hasn't shown out at striker in a long time. He was put at wing. He didn't do well today, so at this point, we've got to make the call on Josh Sargent. It's like, okay, we know your potential, but at this point, you're not starting at your club. You're not performing at the national team level. Striker's still a question mark. We've got to get as many... I want to get as many guys starting as possible, because we might get another moment like Ricardo Pepi had today, where this guy just comes up big for us. And honestly, I would rather have Daryl DK in the squad. I'd probably rather have Yazzie Zardes in the squad at striker at this point, which sucks to say, but it's like, you know Zardes will come up with a goal for you. He might trip over his own feet and hit it in with his neck, but it's going to go in. But, yeah. Then Ricardo Pepi, very good performance. Even without the goal, like, it was so nice to have a striker who was just a very good hold-up player. Like, you could tell his skill with the ball from just very talented player, great finishing. And yeah, it's amazing to have somebody like that on the team, and he's only going to get better. Really great performance by him. Next, Pulisic, he had some good moments, a very vital part in the first goal, but you could tell he was still a little bit rusty, and it sucks that he went down, so yeah. Again, not too much of a surprise. We know his injury record, but yeah, still sucks. Kel Acosta, I mean, he is who he is at this point. Very good defensive performance, but giving the ball away far too much and not good in possession. James Sands, really bad performance. I mean, that's all I can say. I don't feel like he was put in the best position. I think if I was reworking this game, I probably would have, if you wanted to try James Sands, I would have put him at that middle center back role where he performed very well in the Gold Cup, and move Tyler Adams to the midfield, bring on DeAndre Yedlin. But yeah, I don't feel like he was put in the best position, but at the same time, can we afford to only have James Sands in the squad to put him in that middle center back role? Because he didn't do the best in that in a four at the back in the Gold Cup. He was clearly out of his depth in the midfield here. So at this point, he's kind of like Connor Cody is for England, where yeah, he can play that role pretty well, but is he even the best at it? I don't know, and do we even want to play that? So I don't think so. So I honestly wouldn't even have James Sands in the squad at this point, which is disappointing because he is very talented, but he does need to improve. George Bello, very good performance, good getting forward, defending pretty well. I mean, he didn't light the world on fire or anything, but very solid, and yeah, it sucks that he had to go off, but it clearly worked out. I mean, Robinson is better than him, but still a solid performance. Then Tyler Adams, I mean, is what it is. He was played out of position. You can't judge him too harshly for this. But once he got into the midfield, very good. Like, he's honestly might be our best player, and it's so dumb that Gregg Berhalter keeps trying to put him out on the right. Mark McKenzie, very good performance. This was probably, like, I said no surprises, but Mark McKenzie's performance was amazing. I was really doubting him after the Nations League because he had some really good performances in the friendlies around that tournament, but in the Nations League itself, he just looked kind of shook. So you're really questioning, like, is this guy ready? But man, very good performance by him. He came in very solid defensively, good on the ball, and you know what Mark McKenzie can bring, and it's good to see that he was able to do this. And I'm just going to say, Mark McKenzie did this performance, and he's not playing at his club. He's on the bench at Genk right now. So if you're telling me that Chris Richards can't play because he's not starting at Bayern, like, look at what Mark McKenzie did. Just throwing that out there. Miles Robinson, again, similar to Kel Acosta, very good defensively, but bad on the ball. I mean, is what it is with MLS players. I mean, Matt Turner is going to be the same thing. Very good saves, but bad with his feet. So, yeah, I mean, it's what it is. I think that I'd probably rather have Mark McKenzie in the squad, but hey, we know how good Miles Robinson is at 1v1 defending. Then John Brooks, last guy I want to talk about, at fault for another goal, and I don't know if he's just asked to do different things at Wolfsburg, but he really hasn't been that great for us in the national team. I like the leadership that he brings, but I like his ability on the ball. I like him defensively, but it's just, I don't know, maybe he just loses focus. He might try to do a bit too much. He makes a lot of mistakes when he's stepping up. That's what I'm saying. It might have been like a formational thing where he wasn't that comfortable in this position. I don't know, but yeah, something's going to have to get figured out with John Brooks. With the subs, I feel like I already mentioned them, but Anthony Robinson, very good. Sebastian Lletget did his job very well. Brenden Aaronson, amazing. Cristin Roldan. And DeAndre Yedlin made an instant impact. So, yeah, I mean, very good performance by the players. And honestly, like, this showed, like, our players are really good. Honduras is a solid team, and just in the second half, when they're put in the right position, they did great. And honestly, like, I feel like this is an indictment on Gregg Berhalter. I've been saying this for, honestly, since I started covering this team on the channel. But, yeah, I don't really think Gregg Berhalter, I think he's bad tactically, just straight up. It's one thing when, like, you try something out, it doesn't work. But when you see the lineup and you're, like, kind of screaming at the screen and then it doesn't work out, like, that's just being a bad manager. And that has happened so many times. Like, he just makes a decision. You can see how it's going to go wrong, and then it does. I mean, yeah, I don't feel like he's good there, but you could say that Gregg Berhalter's not on this team to be a tactical guy. He's in the team to set the culture. Well, look at what happened with Weston McKennie. I mean, I'm not in the room, obviously, but you can read body language on this team, and it's not that great. And I'm honestly not sure how the culture is on this team. And if Gregg Berhalter is basically only there for that, then I don't feel like he should be there. I mean, that's my opinion. I feel like it's right. I don't really know how you could be a huge fan of this guy. But, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, very good win for us. That second half was amazing. Ricardo Pepi, breakout performance. I mean, you love to see that out of him. Man, sucks that Christian Pulisic got hurt. Hopefully that's not serious. And Brenden Aaronson's been amazing this window. Like, man, he's been knocking out the door of the starting lineup for a while, but I feel like he's got to be in it at this point. And, yeah, really good performance. Got to see some guys step up. I'm really happy for DeAndre Yedlin as well because, I mean, getting burnt by Alphonso Davies when you get forced to come in off the bench, I don't feel like that's something you should be judged too harshly on. So him coming on and having good performance here, I like to see that. And, yeah, not too much more to talk about. You like the win, but, man, how he did it, not the greatest. So, yeah, we'll see you.